Good evening, Mr. Prasad.
Very
Hi,
good evening.
Malti. So good to see all of you. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and we'll chit chat till then, till the time we have other people joining in.
Exactly. So Atul is sending everyone mugs. And imagine when I have five mugs of ILA, what do I do? I first thought I'll have some small indoor plants in that. But pata nahi, kabhi bhi haath mein, it's easily available in the kitchen. When you have five, I pick it up.
Just like ILA.
Only sending the mugs or you sending the beer also?
Arey Prasad sir.
So beer
Mood is
person,
setting up
I'm not
for
a beer person, but Atul had treated us a good in Kampo. Your which Johnny, which was that restaurant? Parsi one,
The Parsi restaurant, no, the Persian Darbar.
not Persian Darbar.
Then?
The Parsi we had that raspberry
Acha,
soda,
acha,
na?
Jimmy Boys.
Jimmy
Yeah,
Boy,
the
yeah.
raspberry, yeah.
that.
If you guys all remember from Mumbai, there's a Jimmy Boys, the Iranian cafe. And they had this lovely soda. I forgot the name. Patoli ji, something. That famous
I don't know.
raspberry. Yeah, so Sumaya
Yeah,
really enjoyed that.
machli,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there was some fish.
Yeah.
All
So it's
right.
all Parsi delicacies.
I love that GB boy. I've been eating there since so many years. Whenever I go
It
downside,
never gets old. It never gets
never
old.
gets so
Seriously.
seriously.
Okay.
I'm looking it up on my next trip.
Yeah, Samson, you better. We can all meet
So
up
we
at
have,
Dr. Saurav's cafe. He has a cafe down in
yes,
Mulund.
Hey,
Okay.
Malti, good evening.
we have
Hi,
Manoj
good
also.
evening.
Hi, Manoj. Very good
Hi,
evening.
Manoj.
Hi all.
All right. Till other participants join in, let me begin with my own introduction. First of all, a very warm welcome to everyone once again. And I am Shruti. I am a communication professional with over 14 years of experience. I have served reputed brands during my career, various careers, I would say, as a writer, copy editor, public relations officer, and so on. So I have got an opportunity to work with a number of brands in their image management also. I'm a content specialist and passionate about personal branding for founders and entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. So welcome once again, everyone. And let me now introduce you to Unoya International. It is a prominent India-based business psychology firm with over 12 years of expertise in delivering personalized solutions to our clients in areas of leadership, employee engagement, as well as business performance. We have Sumaya Sultana here. She's the founder at Unoya International, and she comes with a rich experience and expertise of 15 years in the learning and development domain. She has thorough acumen on corporate training and coaching needs for global participants. She is also very passionate about storytelling and design thinking approach. So welcome, Samaya.
Thank you so much, Shruti, for such a lovely introduction. However, today I'm not the speaker, friends.
Yes,
So Shruti would be
absolutely.
shortly introducing you to the speaker.
Yes. So as you all are aware, we have gathered here to talk about prioritizing men's mental health. It's time that we break the silence and shine a spotlight on an essential topic as this. And believe it or not, it affects us all, whether we are men, women, or a family. This topic affects everyone, right? So in a world that often expects us to be strong and resilient and unwavering, as I'm speaking for men, it's very crucial that to acknowledge that men also face challenges which impacts their mental well-being, right? So we are here to break the stigmas by opening a discussion on men's mental health. We would try to dismantle this notion that seeking support is a sign of weakness. So let's open this discussion, and I would request our speaker and the expert in the domain, Dr. Saurabh Patil. He is here with us today. He's a men's coach and an international speaker who is constantly working in this endeavor. So I would request you, I'll invite you here, Dr. Saurabh, to open the discussion.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And first of all, let me thank all of you who have, taken time out, come here to talk and discuss or work on, a man's mental health, because it's important that we do give time, we do invest time in something that is majorly neglected in ourselves, and we do. It's highly appreciating that you guys on a Thursday evening, you guys have come here, invested, and are here to listen on what we have to offer. When we are ready to break the silence on men's mental health. So going forward,
Yes.
let me tell you my story. So I'm an MBA, I'm a BE computer. I did my PhD in electrical exports. Now, I have been an entrepreneur since 2015. My journey started when I was first posted as an international sales manager in Africa. I traveled across various nations as an international sales manager. I came down to India. I started my journey as an entrepreneur in 2015. And I had my first entrepreneur failure. Oh, I wouldn't say failure, but yeah, setback in 2019, where my partner and me parted ways. We had a setback, we had a downfall. All through this journey, life seemed up and down. There was success, there was setback, there was failure, there was success. It was more like a fluctuating graph. My family has a story from rags to riches. The way I grew up, the way the situation where I was born, the way I grew up, the way my family turned our lifestyle from rags to riches, I developed a sense of entitlement and ego. Yes, I'm talking about myself. The way my lifestyle amplified, the way we, not only we survived, the way we grew, there was a sense of entitlement that was developed inside me. I could get everything. I'm the man. Being the eldest son in the whole joint family, I am entitled to a lot of things. If I become an entrepreneur, I'll be doing a lot of things. I deserve this. All these things used to run my mind. I got married in 2013. And again, the sense of entitlement just amplified. I thought there are a lot of needs of mine where my wife has to cater. And then I became entrepreneur. Success was like right at the doorstep. I was experiencing success. I was experiencing a good married life. And suddenly, one day, without any notice, there was my first setback as an entrepreneur in 2018-19. By 2017, just 1 year before, I could see the downfall in my business. I didn't understand. Parallelly, my wife started experiencing some real good success in her career. The sense of entitlement, turned into anger, turned into insecurity. And that's where I started having my own problems in my relationship with my wife. Not just that, I couldn't understand what was I going through. I thought I'm a man. This is how it is. I'm entitled. I'm supposed to get it. And there was a huge emotional roller coaster ride going through me. But then COVID happened and I was blessed with 2 daughters. And that was one first joy in my life after my first setback. 2021, I did my coaching. I did a lot of self-healing through coaching. I did a lot of self-healing through NLP. And that is when I understood. And I noticed that there are a lot of men in this world, of very close cases around me, that going through similar issues. That, men do have these kind of emotional roller coasters in their mind, but they don't acknowledge it. They don't accept it. Some of them are confused. Some of them are wounded. Some of them really feel the sense of entitlement. And that is when I thought, now that I have healed myself, I think a lot of men in this world do need this kind of coaching, or a lot of men need to understand what being a man is. We always say to our sons, to people around us, people who are sitting, our friends, colleagues, small children, adults, be a good man, be a good man. Try to be a good man, be a good human, be a good man. You know what I would say? It's good to be a good man. But the most important thing, or the most important aspect, is how to be good at being a man. It may sound words turned around, but just give a thought, give a thought on what the sentence is. It's not just important to be a good man. It's important to be good. It's equally important to be good at being a man. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I, Dr. Saurabh Patil, is going to take you through, what men's mental health is, why there is a silence, what stops us as a man from, expressing ourselves, and what should we be doing, and where are we going with this. Because we have very limited participants, I think let's keep the session more interactive. Let's have the questions in between. If you want, I can answer it, and instead of keeping it in the end, right? So let's begin. I can see a lot of men here. How many of you are married? How many of you are single? Can you tell me?
Married.
3, 4.
Yeah,
Four
everybody
people.
left their hand, but what, single or married? I'm married.
Married. How many married? Good. And the rest, I assume, single. Yes, happily married. Thank you. So, let me start with Samsung. Samsung, what do you think? What do you think is what do you think are the emotional roller coaster that goes through a man's mind?
Okay. Thank you, Saurabh. That was a good introduction. When it comes to a man, okay, the first thing he's taught is to man up. Okay, when I say man up for any situation that comes up. For parents, man up to support. For wife, man up to be the man of the house, do the chores, be the support in financial needs or anything. Okay, when it comes to friends, you can't show emotion. So basically, being man up is like you are not looked at emotionally. Okay, but do men go through emotional phases? Yes. Okay. Do men have breakdowns? Yes. Do men have someone to console? What do you call that? Talk to? Not always. Yeah, not always. Okay. Do they feel comfortable to talk to anybody they feel approachable to? Not really. Okay. How often do men really open up about how they feel or are made to feel? Is very difficult. It's a very different ball game altogether. But on the other end, they're just made to feel like man up. Okay. My wife is sitting in the same room. I will probably get stares later. I'm just not looking towards that side. But yeah, it's a thing. Okay. I've been fortunate enough to talk to a few people, to my wife, at least, to friends and things like that, because I believe in talking. What's the worst thing that's going to happen when you talk and say things? They might just say, okay, he talks a lot, but so what? I'm at least getting my things out of my head and getting clarified, getting it clear. But how many men do, or how many men are aware they should or they can do it? That's the thing that's restricting people, men especially, from being open about their mental health. Okay, I used to work in this company a couple of years ago, where mental health was one of the main criteria, main requirements on couple of days, where our bosses would talk to all the men and ask how you're doing. Men's mental health specifically. Okay, there would be days for women as well, but mental health was one of the topics of discussion on a regular basis. Okay, on one of the settings, my boss he said, if you're going through anything, okay, or if you're troubled, okay, whatever the trouble is, if you keep thinking about it, it's going to just take you down so bad you will regret about it. Okay, instead, talk to somebody. If that person can give you a solution or not, but just talk to somebody, at least that can make you feel halfway there to resolving that issue. Okay, so I'm calling out all the men here, and the women as well. Okay, if you struggle with mental health, okay, I know we call this men's mental health, but yeah, women as well. Okay, whatever you're troubled with, okay, talk. Talking helps, but if you don't expect to talk only to the loved ones and like I'm one couple. Sometimes it's better to talk to strangers because they're not going to judge you. Okay, they're
That's
not going
very
to judge you.
important. That's very
Yeah,
important.
they will never judge you. So I've been to therapists. Okay, I've spoken to a couple of my friends who are NLP mentors, practitioners. So talking to them I know they were not going to judge me because they're nobody. Okay, I can
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
yeah, you can talk to a detail level where it doesn't matter. Sometimes you may not even see that person again. You don't have to go to that person again, but it's just talking and finishing it off from your head. So talking is the key factor to um, keeping your mental, what do I call it? Your chimps in your head in
Exactly.
factors. Yeah. I attended a workshop once called giving the chimps some bananas. So the more you keep your chimpanzees in shape with bananas, they always going to be happy. So keep your mental health in the right place.
Yes, fantastic, fantastic. I'm really proud of you, Samson. It's really good that you're taking action with this. Because a lot of, as you said, a lot of times in our daily life, the way we are brought up, the way our fathers and the way men previously had brought up, they're always told to suck it up, be man up, and that pushes all the emotions down the drain, not even drain, down inside you, deep inside, that it becomes very hard to recover. I've so deep that it sometimes bursts out in the form of different anger, or in something that is destructible, or that could damage your mental health, or could be destructing mentally to the people around you in the family. So it's
I agree. I lost my father to suicide. Okay, it was not very long time ago, but I know he was struggling, but he never spoke up about it. Okay, sometimes when I struggle, thoughts do come by, but at the end of the day, you have to put your foot down and see what's the worst thing that can happen with this situation. Am I going to die? No, I'm not going to die. Okay, there are ways. You just have to be able to beat that thought and move forward. That is real manning up. Okay, that's real manning up.
absolutely,
When you
that's
when
real
you
manning.
when you
Yes,
can see beyond that particular situation and see how the life is better on the other side, that is real manning up. Not
absolutely.
not just anything. It's like just man up and open the door for the women or whatever people say.
I know, absolutely, absolutely. Let me tell everyone, I had the same thoughts when I was at the peak of my failure, lost business. When I had the setback in my business in 2019, just before the lockdown, I was left with only one office and a debt of 50 lakhs plus some lot of tax issues. And luckily, my wife was pregnant. That was the only thing I had to look at, which actually made me survive. Otherwise, the thought of suiciding, the emotional trauma, it was all going through my head. But yes, I didn't speak to anyone because that's how we men are. At least I thought that at that point of time. But fortunately, what you said is absolutely correct. It's important. Mental health. When we talk about mental health, we talk about emotions. It's in both the genders. It's with women, it's with men, it's with everyone who's living around as a human. But the point is, women talk it out a lot of times. They discuss. Men don't do that. And when men don't do that, it gets bottled up inside. That is why it's important to talk. Not only just talk. I always say, men, try to open up your uncensored version. No filters,
Yeah.
no censors, no framing of sentences. Whatever comes inside your mind, whatever comes inside your heart, just pour it out. Give a disclaimer to the other person that this is going to be very crucial, this is going to be very shrewd, this is going to be very rude. Please don't take it to your heart. Just listen to me. Because the moment you listen to a man uncensored, the moment you listen to a man without any judgment, a man is going to pour everything out. And that is when he is going to empty his cup of emotions. And that is when would be his maybe first step to work on or regulate his emotions. So always, women or people in the family, always let the man open up uncensored without reacting, without taking things that come out of that man's out to the heart. It's only that the person could be opening up uncensored whatever is feeling, which could help him unload or offload the huge burden of the emotional the box that is inside him.
Yeah.
Anybody else who wants to open up? I don't think anybody else. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jitendra.
Yeah, Jitendra.
So I've been a banker for 18 years, and I have seen few of the examples in my personal life. There were few people I saw they broke down and they committed suicide. So one case was it was around 2007, 8, 9, I guess. One branch manager, he was working late. He was the only person in the branch. He asked the security person to bring something to eat. So he went there to bring something. So the branch manager asked him to put his gun in the branch. So he put his gun in the branch and he went out to bring something. By the time he was back, the branch manager committed the suicide. That was the one instance. There were I was there in Lucknow for good 4-5 years. That was a point when one of the branch manager, who was a female person, her husband was into business, property, real estate, something like that. So we got a news that he was in loans, debts, basically huge loans, huge debts. He committed suicide. So there were few more cases, like people broke down and they got heart attack also, like very young guy, around 35, 40, between 35, 40. So he was on a call. He was feeling kind of a pain on his chest. He asked the colleague that I'm feeling pain, I'm going to doctor. You carry on with the call. So by the time he was out, he asked his friend to come and pick him up. So his friend came in, he picked him up, and by the time they reached the hospital, he was declared dead. So these are 3 examples which I have shared, but there are so many examples which we used to hear in banking career, but not only in banking career, but at all the fields, all the segment, industry, businesses, similar kind of pressure is there. And for one more instance, I would like to narrate that my father got paralysis 2.5 years back. So I was in hospital with him for 2-3 days, 4 days he was in hospital. That point in time, we have seen so many cases of collapse, heart failure, or nervous breakdown. Most of the cases were from males. So I don't say that females don't have tension, anxiety, stress kind of a thing.
They do have.
But you rightly pointed out, they speak up. They have their network of people. They have their mother whom they can discuss things on and off on. But that leverage is not there between male members in the family itself. Like son and parent, they don't talk much onto these terms and these things. Because what we have seen is our parents, they were not talking about these things in the family. So that was the kind of a thing which developed within every male member. So this is the reason that most men, they don't talk to their family member either. And about friends and friends, We have friends, we spend time together, but whenever we meet, we only talk about the things which are good in life, or we were like looking forward to enjoy it, like having a sip of beer or something like that, and enjoy those 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours. But we never speak about the pain, anxiety, tension, stress, these type of things. And if we talk about the environment which is there in the corporate these days is really, really tough for everyone. The young people also face challenges. And I've also seen that many young people leaving job because of stress, anxiety, tension, what kind of culture is building up. So there are so many cases happening. The only solution would be like speaking up, discussing with things, like probably with anybody. You can have a mentor, buddy, or colleague, whomsoever you can discuss things. That is the only way. Or otherwise, what happens is the breakdown. It may occur anytime, any place. And what I do is I don't keep things on my head for a longer time. Sometimes it happens I'm like kind of sad for 2 days, 3 days maximum, but not beyond that, because I always think of doing next. So whatever is happening, right? I cannot do much on that thing. So what next can I do? What best can I do? So I always think on that ways. So I never give a stress a room to like flourish in my mind or body. So I always think of in that perspective, like what is happening for its own sake. So I have nothing to do with. So whenever I'm coming back to my home after office, so the baggage I leave there in the office itself. So when I'm driving, I'm not thinking about that. I try to call friends, sometimes discuss about normal things, not about the tension, stress, anxiety, because I don't have it. I never thought in that way. Whatever is happening for a moment. So I keep that moment when I am leaving from the office. So whatever is happening, I leave that and try to be normal once I leave from there. But sometimes it happens that things continue for few days. But still, if you are thinking in a positive way, thinking in what you can do to make things correct, or maybe next best thing possible. So that ways you definitely can cater to those things, and you can have a right mindset towards things, not only you, but everything around you. So that is the thing which can help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing, Jitendra. That's a very good thing. In fact, that's the most crucial thing. I remembered a quote by Buddha. He said, a man can conquer many battles in the battlefield externally, but a true man who is a conqueror is the one who conquers the battles inside him. We may look tough from the outside, but there is a lot going on inside. And let me tell you, the world statistics, the most number of suicides in the world are by men.
Right.
Just now, I just said a few minutes back that the bottled up emotions come out or the outburst in such a way that it could be destructible. Sometimes these bottled up emotions are self-sabotaging. They're
Correct.
self-sabotaging in such a way that suicide is the only option that is left for the person. Perceived, of course, not actually. And any person who actually, any man who's actually committing a suicide, before any such mishap happens, unfortunately, a lot of times we cannot guess or make out that this person is going to commit a suicide. There
True.
has been times there has been times in front of me where I have spoken to someone sitting right next to me, and next day or a day or two after that, I've got the news that that person has committed suicide. So
Right.
unfortunately, it's the mask of manliness that we are wearing in front of our face and pretending we are okay, but that's the worst phase when we are actually not okay. You know,
Correct.
yeah, there are so many men in the world who are overwhelmed with emotions. It goes, the statistics goes this way that around 5 lakh or more men are overwhelmed with emotions every year. That would be something around 10,000 or something men every week. 1,400, 1,500 men every day, maybe a 60 to 70 men an hour. This is the number of men being overwhelmed with emotion. Every hour you can see 60 to 70 men overwhelmed. Either they and very few or handful of them, do take action. Rest are emotionally distressed. Some do commit suicide. Absolutely, Samsung. 1 in 5. I think the statistics has come down to 1 in 4.
Right. And also the important thing is like we have seen so many people who are lively, who are friendly, who are always being happy, are also facing these type of challenges, these
Yes,
type of burnouts, these type of stress in their life, which they are not spoken anyways, but they are lively. You won't find them that they would be having that kind of a stress or anxiety in their life, but you never know.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. We put up a mask of manliness in such that we try to be happy, we try to make a good environment, but deep inside us we are wounded. We are wounded in such much aggravated way that we are, I don't know, we are confused, we don't know where to go, what to do. But you may seem that the person is very lively, is pretending to be happy, but he's not happy. All
Right.
this is why, because there is a silence on men's mental health. And why is that? Because there are 2-3 factors to that. There is something called the societal stigma. The societal stigma prevents men from expressing that's not who a man is. In a society, a man is strong, breadwinner, a lot. Yes, Anushka, I'll come to that as well. Office
And
politics.
most important thing is like your own expectation versus others' expectations
Yeah,
from you is also really
that's
big
the
thing.
second part. Absolutely, that's the second part. Apart from societal stigma, that's the second part. You want to show that you're strong. The toxic masculinity to go with it. The toxic masculinity that goes with it. Yes, I'm a man. If I tell, if I express, if I cry, or if I say something, it would be a sign of weakness. Will my
Correct.
wife accept me? Will my kids accept me? Will the people around me accept me? That is another point where which prevents us from not talking about it, not expressing ourselves.
And
I think
also what happens is sometimes we feel like if we talk about these type of situations or these type of problems, we would see ourselves as weak person. And others also see as us as a weak person also.
yes.
That is kind of a thing. People keep things on their own self.
Yeah, and what you mentioned is truly right. A lot of times, Malti, I'll just take your question in 1 second. I just read your question. Lot of times, we men want to open up to our friends, but we fear the judgment. We fear they will judge us, even though there are male friends around us. They fear will judge us. They will, they will pass some comments and they will label us with something, and that is why we don't open up. Unfortunately, what happens when you go around with your friends, when you party with your friends, you do a lot of maybe a lot of substance abuse, that is alcohol abuse, and that is when it comes out. It comes
Right.
out, but then that is when your emotions or your vulnerability takes control. That is when you are in the back seat, but the emotional vulnerability takes a driver's seat, and that is where it comes out in the wrong way. But that is not just a solution. Taking out is okay, but realizing what you're taking out and working on that,
Correct.
that is important.
Yeah.
It may come out when you're high, when you're not in your senses, but it is just like having a food poisoning and vomiting. You have not understood
Correct.
the problem.
Correct. That is not possible when you are
Exactly.
in stress or anxiety.
You want to
So,
clean your intestine, you want to clean your stomach, you want to clean the bacteria. It's
right.
not just you
Correct.
have to throw up.
Saurabh, my takeaway on whatever you're saying is it is not just expressing, but I think self-regulation is something that if we see in both the genders, there is high diversification.
Yes, I have a point to make on that. I'll be covering up that self-regulation. Yeah. So before that, can we take Malti's question?
Yeah, do you want me to read out?
I'll just read. This is my question. I have handled cases of asking people to resign from office. Of course, the organization took care of the health related aspects, but how really do we handle such situations? It's for bread earners when they are emotionally down, start questioning their skills, performance, and get the feeling that they are not worthy. Absolutely, this is Malti. I would say this is quite common in the corporate world, where it's a rat race. Of course, you know, when people resign, it's important that yes, there are organizations that take care of the health aspects, but these health aspects are in terms of your physical health, your but the point is that if you know that, I mean, you might be knowing that there are a lot of exit interviews that happen when people resign. So during that exit interviews, maybe you can maybe have some group of men who can talk to each other, have a safe space where they can open up, maybe have someone with a mental health professional who can, talk to them before, them leaving the organization, that what are the kind of emotions, or is it what kind of issue they're facing in terms of the emotions. Is it something related in the performance in the office? Is it some personal trauma? Is it that there is cases of both that is happening and that is putting them into a difficult spot? Is it the pressure that they are not able to bear, be it from your personal life, be it on your professional life? Because there are a lot of times there is stress from your personal professional life which takes a toll on a man, and that affects productivity, because a lot of men go into procrastination. Even those who are flamboyant in their body language, who are very loud in their body language, they may look happy, just like Jitendra said, they may look happy from the outside, they may be interacting socially a lot, but these people do go a lot of procrastination and overthinking in their mind in a lot of other aspects, because those kind of social interactions are just a mask to hide what they really feel inside. So it could be that you can talk to them, maybe coach them or mentor them as to why they are leaving the organization, what is affecting the productivity. That would help create a safe space. I always say, for men to open up, we should always have a safe space. When I talk about safe space, it's like having a group of similar men who can sit together, open up about themselves. Because if you have men with similar issues, they will open up uncensored, because they know that the other person is also going through the same. They won't be judgmental. So it will be a safe environment for them to open up, offload or unload their own emotions or whatever they're feeling. That way, they, sometimes talking loudly or even expressing yourself, which is like loud thinking, triggers the kind of solution that you're actually looking for. Whatever is going inside your head may not give you a solution because you're overwhelmed with it. When you're actually talking about it, when you're telling the other person, you're like loud thinking, and when that loud thinking happens, many times you find a solution, that yes, this is the perspective I was missing, this is the kind of solution I was looking. So it's important for men to have a safe space where they can talk to each other. It's men with similar issues or similar feeble situation, that would help. And again, you can have someone who's into a mental health profession to talk to them, counsel them, mentor them, in order to not leave the organization or work on what is not happening with them, what is not working with them in that organization. I agree, Manoj, with you that the ratio of hire and fire is increasing day by day,
And if we
and that's
see, and if we see
really true,
the
unfortunately.
transformation, if we see the transformation of HR policies was first done by Tata's way back in like early 60s or 70s, I don't remember exactly, but that was done first time in India, that too in the, like if we talk about the global perspective. So first initiative was done in India. But if we see the current condition of the corporate, including all sectors in India, is amongst the worst. The HR policies, the framework, the initiatives are really worse as compared to global. And if we see the thing which Malti have highlighted, that the HR practices which is happening in the companies, like they are organizing events or the kind of activities for health perspective for the employees. It's only a check mark exercise, not beyond that. Because what is happening is they only invite people, and also the whatever things are happening, that is for a moment, like half an hour session, 1 hour session, and that too on a like giving perspective, not from a dual perspective, like discussion forum, like we are discussing now. So we are sharing our thoughts. So it never happened in this way. The thing which happens is like one person would be coming in from the background, and he would be saying, this is the best thing, this is the best thing, you do this, you do that. That's it. Tick mark exercise. HR bullshit met for them. This is done. And about other things which are happening, like own perspective or as an employee, they are also not taking much of an interest in these activities because they know these activities are only check mark for HR. And second thing is the about we like you have just spoken about the exit interviews. So that is merely again check mark activity. No much of significance on that. What I've realized in my career of 18 years with multiple organizations. So the HR only discuss with few of the employees where the supervisors don't want to let them go. And these are very few people, like their favorites or maybe who are the best performers, top one, two people. That's it. For other people, if they are performing well, not well, if they are asset for the organization, they have done good in past, for a few months, few years, they are not able to perform. They don't care about that at all. So that activity again is really a like tick mark activity. No significance, no feedback is taken care of. Whatever feedback, good, bad, ugly, they never see that feedback. You never got a call from HR if you put up a complaint as well. And that if you are in organization and if you put up a complaint for your supervisor or any person in the organization, they would come back to you, not on the supervisor. They would not ask any question from them. And if you are like creating an whistleblower, first thing would be like you would be getting pressurized and these type of activities, because I've seen people who done whistleblower on these instances were have to leave jobs, and the supervisors against them the whistleblower was done, nothing happened to them. So they were still enjoying their like whatever they used to work. And this was not on the middle level, this was beyond all levels, like middle level managers also, senior manager levels also, and corporate level teams also. So nothing is happening in that perspective.
I'm not I don't want to get into that whistleblower office politics things, but yes, of course, a lot of there is a huge pressure on people who are resigning, and yes, it's very imperative that we have a program or some mental health program that can go on throughout the organization's life, which can regularly address their pressure, check with them time to time how they're performing, where they're lacking, what is the situation of the productivity, and how are they handling it, the stress, be it at home, be it in the office. So it's an ongoing should be an ongoing program which could help them check with their team regularly, because as rightly pointed, if you do it one time, it may happen, and it may have a limited effect. Again, after some time, we might lose on that. So it's important that it happens regularly, time to time. Do sessions, group talking, group coachings, which would definitely help them keep on track. Prasad ji had, I think, he raised his hand to say something.
Yeah, very interesting discussion going on, and led by Dr. Saurabh. Very happy to hear the insights. I just wanted to bring a a different perspective to the whole thing. I think most of the things I've heard are hovering around it, but let's take a couple of steps back and look at where all this has originated from, not only in India, but across the globe. See, there was a era where, as one of the friends used the word breadwinners, men have been always looked as typical, if I can say, I'm sorry, no offense to gentle ladies, but heroes. They are the guys who can go out and do things, and next to God, they are the people. That's the illusion which has been formed, and it continues. Thankfully, I would say with the current generation, it is getting broken, Gen Y and Gen Z and all that. But that stigma continues. So the example which I like to give here is that, when you fall from that pedestal, or if you're not able to keep yourself there, that's where the challenge happens. And then you don't know what to do, how to handle. And even if you want to talk to somebody about you don't find the right words. And as all of you have been mentioning that even if we find the words, we are not able to control the emotions. So hence we are not able to speak the right things. We end up saying so many other things or getting aggressive and hurting people and hurting ourselves more, and we clamp up. So that is a very big challenge. So when you talk of whether it is an HR or whether it is a normal person or it's at home, challenge remains the same. But because you can see this white beard around my chin here, what I can say is that over a period of time, honestly, I'll be very upfront. I always believe in opening up on these things. It may help people. At the age of 11 was the first time, I think I started feeling that I was getting anxiety and I was, becoming depressed. I didn't know. Nobody those days knew. Born in 61, by the way. So it was people didn't know what it was. But then the doctors, and I'm telling you, please take it from me, this is a reality. I'm sharing an example with you. 11-year-old child, they have given a compose to go to sleep for 6 years. Not 1, 2, 6 years. And then how to wean out from that, nobody knows. Without which you cannot sleep. Now, these are some of the other things which have come into play. Maybe people have been experimenting and doing things and things like that. But honestly, to cut it short, what I did was that because I have a association with a lot of these places where they do meditation and things like that, I got into it. And as I heard some friends say, and that's why I wanted to give that perspective. If you can't talk to anybody, please talk to yourself. Do a
Yes.
meditation. Please talk. As doctor has also mentioned, sit down, take time, talk to your own self. You'll find a lot of ideas, information coming, and then structure it before you speak to the others. You'll find it very easy to do it. Very easy to do it. Honestly, you might say what Prasad is saying is off the hook, but this is from personal example.
True.
More on this later.
I agree with you on this. Totally. Because the way men were projected and put up on the pedestal previously as not just the breadwinners, the heroes, the everything in the family. That is, and the way the scenario is changing in modern times. That has put us all on the pedestal. And as you rightly mentioned, the moment you fall from the pedestal and you're not able to meet up with the expectations, it definitely puts you in a different spot. And there is huge anxiety, not just anxiety, there is huge anxiety, there is depression. Of course, back then when you were 11 or 12 years old, the word anxiety was also not known. It was again the same thing, that ye to kuch nahi hai, you are just anxious.
It's a passing phase. As
It's a
simple as
passing
that.
phase. ऐसा होता है. That's how it was termed, and it was let go.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, we are seeing it that we men are developing anxiety and it is affecting in very bad way. You know, I agree that there is a lot of, a few days back I was coaching someone and I is that lot of self-talk. Self-talk is important because it gives you a different perspective. It triggers a solution. It helps you understand as a third person and view it as a third person as to what you're going through. Self-talk, a lot of positive self-talk, of course, helps you, regulate your emotions. Now, when it comes to regulating emotions, that is where a lot of men lack. They are not, of course, I mean, it's not that it's a fault, but we are never trained, or we are never given a way that how to regulate your emotion. It's there is one thing that a lot of men don't accept and acknowledge their emotional situation. It's very important, it's very critical that you acknowledge there is something going on, there is a stress, and you accept it. The moment you do that, you understand what you're going through, and that will lead you to the next step. And when you do that, that is the time when you take action. There are some men who accept this. Yes, I am going through a lot of stress. They express their emotional vulnerability, that I am vulnerable. Again, being vulnerable is not something that is promoted for a man. Men are not vulnerable, they are strong. But being acceptance is the first step to taking action for yourself. Accepting that you are vulnerable is second, but that is not enough. Lot of times men do accept they're vulnerable, but that is where the train stops. They accept, they crave, they talk, and that's where there is an end of the road, because they don't know what to do about it. Just like Sumaya mentioned a few minutes back, it's important, just like you said, sir, just like many people say, it's important to regulate. And that is when emotional sovereignty comes into place. When we talk about emotional sovereignty, when I say emotional sovereignty, by what I mean by that is to take action and to regulate emotion. It's okay to accept that you are emotionally vulnerable, but it's also equally important to be emotionally sovereign in terms of, you are ready to take action. I might say that yes, I am vulnerable, but I'm also ready to say what emotional sovereignty would say. Yes, I have identified the issue. I think this is the problem I'm facing, and I'm going to take these steps to overcome it. So the emotional sovereignty is when a man is ready to take or do self-regulation on himself and work on it. And that is the kind of man anyone wants to be, so that you come out of the stress. And that is when self-talk is important.
And just to add to
World
that
where there is
beautiful
huge rat
point,
race, everybody's busy. Yes.
yeah, just to add to that point, Doctor, sorry I'm interrupting, is that
No,
when
please
you
go on.
do the self-talk, when you do the, a lot of things which you're not able to talk, you are able to find solutions here. And when you start making sense, then others are more willing to help you to come out of it. Because then they know what is the problem you're facing, or what is the treatment you need.
Exactly. A lot of times people around us do want to help us, but they don't understand what the problem that person is facing.
Absolutely.
They don't even know how to help you. See, in order to do that, we should acknowledge that we are facing some problem. We should acknowledge, and we should, do a lot of self-talk in order to understand what issue we are facing. And when you are ready to self-regulate as a man, there are people around you who are ready to help you to get out of it.
But
And
Saurabhji,
yeah,
that would be a stage which will come at a later stage. But the first thing
absolutely.
is, you were talking about self-talk or self-realization, or self awareness. That is
Awareness.
really important. But the thing is, when we are passing through this time, like stress, anxiety, tension at a peak, that is a stage not happening at once immediately. So that
Yeah.
that
It's a build up.
goes that built up with a smaller one, then the larger, bigger one, then the bigger one. So by the time we reach out to the peak, we kind of used to that situation, that
Yes.
this is fine, I can handle it. So that kind of a feeling is already there. So though we feel that whatever is happening normal. So we treat that thing as a normal one, but someday it happens like things collapse. So there is
Yeah,
no
here's the
room
point.
for self-actualization or self-awareness in between that process. By the time we hit the bottom line, things are on already on negative side. So
They have
the
already at the
cure
peak, it's going to collapse.
which
Yes.
we could have done is not possible.
That is
This
why I
is
said,
one thing.
the first step is to acknowledge and accept that you are going through
At
something.
a first stage or the second stage, immediately when you are
Exactly.
passing
And
through
that is when,
that stage, you should be aware
yeah,
immediately.
and
And second thing is, like Prasad sir have mentioned that the self-talk, or you have also mentioned about self-talk. But the thing is, we always do self-talk. Whenever we are thinking, whatever we are thinking about the current situation or the past situation or the previous situation or the future situation, we always do that. But the thing is, we do it in a right way or a wrong way. That is really important. But when we are in negative situation, we would
yeah,
always
yeah,
be doing self-talk on a negative way. That is how that things pile up immediately. Like you are already in a mess situation. When you think negatively, that mess goes multiplies 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. So that is the time you get the hit. But if you start doing it in a positive way and you do that self-talk positively, definitely that itself can cure your problem. Whatever biggest problem you would be having related to your stress, anxiety, tension, trauma, that can be cured. The most problem area here is like we are not aware in the process because we think it is normal. First thing, normal to everybody, not to us, but to everybody. So that is common. Second thing is when we are aware, and that point in time also we are aware on a negative part, not on a positive part. So we are taking things, rethinking always on that part. So both these things are problem actually.
yeah, absolutely, very true, Jitendra. So that is when I when I say that there is something called as victim mindset. What happens is when there is, of course, there is a negative self-talk, there is a positive self-talk. Of course, positive self-talk, as Prasad ji also mentioned, that it helps you, regulate your emotions. But what happens is if we let the emotions, just like you said, this is what we call as a victim mindset. Does
Right.
negative self-talk, it will keep pushing you deeper and deeper, that it's your fault, why did you do this, and all sorts of such things. And that is why, what you one thing we can do, if you're not done a self-talk, or if you're experiencing too much stress and there is a negative introspection happening, write down what you're feeling. The moment you read what you're writing, you are able to understand that yes, this is going in the wrong direction. And that is where you break the pattern of this victim mindset or negative self-talk. That is where you break the pattern. You
Correct.
again read and consciously start doing a positive self-talk, because the negative talk or the victim mindset comes to you unconsciously. It's a kicking mechanism that comes into play, and if you are not able to stop the pattern at the right time, it will grow more, it will amplify. So that is when you write down things, when you read what you're actually thinking, you will consciously stop the pattern. Then you do self-talk, positive self-talk, you write that down too, and that will help you regulate, because the moment you reproduce it on the paper, it and you are reading what you're writing, that puts you in a conscious state that where am I going. Yes, Sushma ji has raised her hand since a while.
Yeah, actually, I was agreeing on Prasad sir's idea of joining a meditation group.
Yeah.
When he said about self-talking, it was all about talking positively, and that happens when you are into meditative state.
Yes.
And even Jitendra said right that when we are already depressed or when we are already stressed, we don't. What where do we talk? It's always negative. But then usually what happens is when your family, your friends also start observing this thing in you, they suggest some things like, some solutions. Either they ask you to go to a gym, or go to some yoga classes or meditation classes, or even to talk to people. But what happens is many a time we become reluctant on this. Even sometimes girls also, I mean female also get reluctant, and men get reluctant a bit more as compared to female, because this is what I have observed even in my family and friend circle. And there is where I believe they do a mistake when they don't listen to the closed ones who are observing them and suggesting something good for them. So I would suggest, when somebody in your family or very very close friend is suggesting you to join something to help you out, so please do that, so that you can get good right solution to put your emotions in the right way.
Yes, you know what Sushma ji, what you said is actually true. Something I have started practicing. Of course, I had experienced that, getting into the unconscious victim mindset. These days, what I do is, like, wherever I am, be it home or outside, whenever I think I'm developing anxiety, and of course, if I do a lot of meditation, I coach men, but see, we are all human. We are going to be vulnerable at some point or the other.
Right.
I am an entrepreneur, I'm a coach, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son. So there, at times there is pressure from some or the other side which puts you in anxiety. What I do, I consciously message my wife that I need to talk today. I need to get things out of me. I want you to just listen, don't judge or don't react. And when I come home, I just talk it out. And of course, she listens patiently. And that's what we can do. I'm not saying, see, people who are alone, people who have you around, talk to, open up to strangers, or maybe open up to people who are around you.
Right.
That would help you, consciously tell someone this, I want to open up, uncensored, don't react, don't judge. That will help you to, remove what is bottled up. And yes, meditation is one thing. It's important for a man to also have meditation, because when you are anxious, again, when you are in a depressed or stress, I won't say depressed, because depression word is loosely used a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a very huge term.
Yes. uh, when you're in a stress, when there is anxiety, it's important that you as a man calm down your nervous system, because
Right.
the reactivity that comes out of a man comes in the form of anger most of the time. And that anger, it could be lashing out, could be abusing, could be substance abuse as well. I'm not saying anger is bad, anger is good. Let me clarify this: anger is not bad, anger is good. Some form of anger definitely helps you, to propel your rocket of career or anything, and it can make you a better person. But the moment there is an aggression, see, every man, every human has something called as a charge inside them, a charge or an intensity. That charge or intensity is like a fuel. That fuel or charge helps you achieve a lot as long as you are driving it. It helps you achieve a lot in your career. It helps you become a better version. It helps you to do whatever tasks are at hand. But the moment aggression steps in, the moment reactivity steps in, reactivity and aggression are when the charge takes control and you are in the back seat. The moment that happens, aggression, reactivity starts driving the bus you are in, and you are just a passenger. And the moment that happens, you can observe where things are going wrong. You're lashing out, you're abusing, you're doing substance abuse, a lot of things, you're reacting in a very bad way to people around. When that happens, you can see where the bus is going, but you are not able to do anything. And when this whole episode is over, you feel a sense of guilt inside you, that what have I done? And for that, it's important that you meditate in some way or the other. You calm down your nervous system as a man, so that you take charge of your charge and anger and drive it. See, it's like what do you call that, horse buggy. You tell the horse where to go. But if you sit in an autopilot car, it might damage, it might go anywhere. Your aggression reactivity is that way. So don't let the charge take charge. You take charge of the charge, which you can help propel your growth and become a better version. And that is where meditation is. Now we know that, a lot of times when we say meditation, people think, oh, so you have to do this, you have to sit for 30 minutes, you have to do 10 minutes, you have to become a sadhu and then do a lot of meditation. No, a very basic step, which even I do before going on any stage, or even before this seminar, I did for 5 minutes. Control your breathing. Your breathing is everything.
Right.
When you are able to control, I think Sushma ji would agree with me on this.
Yes.
The moment you control your breathing, the moment you take charge of your breathing, you are able to regulate your actions.
Right.
Do a small breathing exercise. Count when you inhale, you stay there for a few counts and then exhale. Breathing will help you control your anxiety, take charge of your actions, control your thoughts, and then you can direct them the way you want. So it's rather than having many, of course, there are so many meditations available today,
Right.
YouTube and everywhere. There are so many apps. If you're not able to do that, just 5 minutes a day, do breathings, do 5 counts of breathing for 5 minutes, wherever you are, before going to the office, if you're in the car. Don't do it while driving, of course. But
To
whenever you're
add to
sitting alone.
this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
please go on, Sushma ji.
Yeah, to add to this, whenever somebody is starting meditation for the first time, there is a misconception that I sit for half an hour, but the thing is, I initially start counting my breathing for 2, 4, 5 counts, and then I start wandering here and there. This is what happens with everyone.
It's normal.
Initial 1 month, so for some people, they can take charge of their breathing or their count, maybe by 10 days. Some people, even if they are doing it continuously for 1 year, even then that wandering happens. But then the effect that you are getting the effect slowly. So it's not that you sit for meditation today and today itself will get solutions for all the problems. No, it is a process, slow process that will happen over a period of time. So we should be patient enough to understand that, okay, problem is there, we want solution, but then before that we need to calm down. And that is the reason why we are doing meditation.
Absolutely, very true. Let me tell you something, Sushma ji, because you brought it up. And Malti, I agree with you totally. That I was a person who was very short-tempered. Even sometimes I am today. I was very short-tempered since my childhood. I used to break stuff. I used to break glasses. I used to end up fighting in school with someone or the other. I used to be very short-tempered. I used to shout at home. I'm telling you the truth, because I don't mind opening up as a man. It's okay. That's how I was. That was my previous version. I used to have huge fights with my wife, and I used to shout at the top of my voice. But after coaching, what I understood, I did a lot of breath work. I did a lot of meditation. Eventually, I mean, it took me around 1.5 to 2 years to reach a stage where I'm able to control my anger. There are a lot of triggers around you, be it a man or a woman. We all have triggers around us, in the office, in the external environment, outside on the road, at home, kids, parents, everyone. But that is where our test is. That is where the real test is as a person, that how are we handling it. Anybody triggering us does not give us a reason to just react back or make throw childlike tantrums. That's where the test is. Real meditation would actually help you absorb these triggers and give a rational way to react to it. And it is not going to happen in a day or two. It takes time. You need to have a lot of patience. Let the thoughts flow. You are able to compartmentalize those thoughts and regulate the flow, rather than, a lot of people have a misconception that yes, meditation will stop all the thoughts and it will blank my mind. Well, it's to regulate your thoughts. It's to compartmentalize your thoughts rather than stop your thoughts. Yes, Harjit, you want to say something?
Yes, I think you are taking very good initiative. I was not aware of what's happening around the world. Okay. Can I share my views
Sure,
related
sure,
to
sure.
what's happening? Okay. My experience and my understanding. Uh, see, uh, when mental health is happening, okay, we try to deal as you are saying we need to do meditation, breathing and all that. Okay, breathing from me, from my side, breathing is okay to start with. See, it is hard. It's hard to work on mind compare to the body. It's very hard to work on the mind instead of the body. So I think better to start with the body, do some activity when something is happening, when anxiety is happening, stress is happening, or something else. Immediately, if we do, sorry, actually, I'm somewhere where I will not be visible, so it's already dark.
No worries, no worries.
Okay, so it's when we start doing working immediately on the body and simultaneously we can do meditation or breathing exercise. I think with body breathing is body, okay, not the mind. So when we start working on the body first, then slowly develop the meditation or whatever technique you want to do. I think that will give the results very fast, quicker than the meditation. That's what I observed, and that's what I have learned from NLP. I think I am I'm I'm student of Somaya, so she invited me today.
Oh,
I I I,
nice.
I thought let's share my views as well. So I think please consider if you are already doing this, because uh, my focus is on the professional area, so I may not be doing this. I think if you are doing this, so please consider this. Immediate exercise is very important. Like yesterday, I think today, so today morning, actually I was angry. So I said something. Uh, then what I did is that I'm angry. Like I said to my son that I'm angry with your mom. Okay, this is what I said with in a angry tone, not very high tone, but in a low tone. Then I remember, yeah, you are an NLPer guy, yeah. Okay, you are trainer of NLP. Okay, why not use the technique? So what I did, I started doing something else. Like I was driving at that time, the thought came. I said, okay, Harjeet, you are angry. हाँ, तू इतना गुस्सा हो रहा है. So now this is one. Okay, तू गुस्सा हो रहा है. तू सच में बहुत गुस्सा हो रहा है. हाँ? So that sort of toning I started, which helped me immediately get relaxed, because that was body related act, not the mind, because it's very difficult to control the mind when we are on the go. Okay, so I thought I should share this.
No, no, very true. Thank you so much, Harjit ji. बहुत
Pleasure,
जरूरी
pleasure.
था ये. As I said, we are all humans. Even though you're an NLP trainer, even I am practicing NLP and mindfulness. So I was also a student of Somaya. So yes, we do practice this, we do observe this, but after all, we are humans. It's bound to happen to us somewhere or the other. And what you rightly pointed, a physical exercise is equally important. The moment you do physical exercise, your body is regulated. The moment you do combine it with meditation, your overall aspects are regulated, because
Saurabh,
you know
sorry to stop you
yeah,
here.
please.
You said it's equally important, so
Yeah.
I will differ there. What I'm saying,
Okay.
when there is happening of anxiety or whatever, we- immediately there should be first it should be body, then there we can go for mind. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my message here. I hope you got it.
I understood. Thank you for so much for your perspective.
Thank you.
It's important. Yes, body is important, because there are few things that come with physical exercise. One is, of course, you stay fit. Second is, it gives you a different feeling that you are able to focus better in your day-to-day activities, your work, your daily routine. So it's important that physical any physical exercise, I would say. You don't need to do something very exotic. You just need to do a normal walk bhi chalega in the morning. That will help you regulate your body. And why I said equally important, I'll tell you, because when you are in stress, when you are anxious, when you're in stress, when there is overthinking, eventually it also affects your, the other issues like blood pressure, diabetes, that come into play when you are in stress. So that is why I said, but yes, I totally agree with you, Harjit ji. Yes, so I think we would run short of time. So yes, before we end, let's continue before we end, and I hand over the session to our second speaker. So yeah, so meditation gives calms your nervous system. And yes, physical exercise is something that when you perceive, you are able to focus, you are able to regulate your physical body. Lot of times we end up in a procrastination that yes, I am going to do this today, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to go for a swim, but we don't do that. And that is, I wouldn't say that we are lazy or that person is lazy. I would say that person is not motivated enough in order to overcome the procrastination. Sometimes when you do some physical activity, be it your hobby or any kind of a sport, it helps you focus, or it helps you channelize your strength of emotions in a direction where you can use them. Lot of times people do that, they channelize their emotions when they do physical activity, and that is where they drag the whole charge into that activity, which helps them focus and calm down. So physical activity is important. And the most important thing is that, when you are angry, again, like Harjit ji said, I he becomes angry even though he's an NLP trainer. Do a small breathe work, maybe a minute or two. A basic exercise which I can tell you is that, just do a count. Let's say when you breathe in, do a count of 4, hold it for a count of 5, and when you're releasing it, do it at a count of 6. So the breathing out should have one or two more counts than you're breathing in. So that way you are able to, calm yourself down. And yes, of course, again, there are physical activities, there are ways of doing it. There are try to have the meditation before or after your physical activity, which will help you regulate. And try to make sure that you are doing it at least 4 to 5 days a week. I'm not saying it may not be possible for everyone to do it every day. Do it 3 to 4 days a week consciously. It may seem difficult in the beginning, of course it is. Try to consciously take steps. Yes, I think Ruparel ji, you want to say something on this? We are not able to hear you. I think you're on mute.
You're on mute, sir.
ओके
Yeah,
ओके
yeah, clear.
सर मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ सर, बोलिए ना.
सर आप
बिल्कुल
म्यूट हो
mute
गए
है.
हैं दोबारा से।
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, आप म्यूटेड है. कैन वी अनम्यूट?
Yes.
मेरी
Yes.
आवाज आ रही है?
अभी क्लियर है, बोलिए.
हाँ, तो मेरा सर थोड़ा मेडिटेशन में विश्वास इसलिए उठ गया है कि मैं माउंट आबू में मैंने शिविर किया है ब्रह्मा कुमारी का 3-4 बार, क्योंकि मेरे फादर रेगुलर थे। तो मैंने देखा वहां पे जो बहनें हैं वो मेडिटेशन रेगुलरली करते हैं, बहुत काम डाउन है, बहुत स्वीटली बात करते हैं, एकदम पीसफुल वो बात करते हैं तो हमें शांति मिलती है। फिर यहाँ महुआ सेंटर में 2-3 बहनें हैं, वो भी मेडिटेशन करती है 30 साल से, लेकिन बार बार गुस्सा हो जाती है। तो वो बहन ने अभी बोला था कि धीरे धीरे आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, 1 साल 2 साल लगेंगे, लेकिन लोग 30-30 साल मेडिटेशन करके भी गुस्सा करते हैं बार बार। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऐसा क्यों होता है, फिर मेरा विश्वास टूटने लगता है मेडिटेशन से। कई लोग ऐसे मैंने देखे कि आप मेडिटेशन करते हैं 25-25 साल से, तो आपके माइंड में इफेक्ट तो दिखना चाहिए ना कुछ। तो इसके बारे में
मैं
क्या प्रोसेस हो
मैं इसका
सकता है
जवाब
कि
दे
आप?
सकता हूँ।
यस यस
जी
हरजीत जी
जी।
बोलिए ना।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। देखिए, अभी एक चीज होती है मेडिटेशन। मेडिटेशन हम किसको बोलते हैं? ये एक बड़ा सवाल है। और मेडिटेशन बहुत प्रकार की मेडिटेशन है। एक ब्रीथ मेडिटेशन है जिससे ब्रीथिंग थ्रू, जो कि मोस्टली फेमस ज्यादा यही चलती है। तो और एक ध्यान मेडिटेशन है ना, जो आप ब्रह्म
हाँ
कुमारी में कराते हैं।
हाँ जी।
वो लोग आंखें खोल के उस तारे को देखते हैं और उस पर
हाँ
फोकस
हाँ, एक
करते हैं। बराबर
एक
है
बिंदु को
ना?
देखना।
हाँ। तो वो उसको त्राटक भी कहते हैं। ओके, त्राटक क्रिया है वो। अ,
नहीं,
अ,
त्राटक तो नहीं है,
नहीं,
पीसफुल।
वो सिमिलर है वो। ठीक है, वो एक नाम है।
हाँ।
सिर्फ एक नाम है। अब हम वहां नहीं जाते हैं, मैं खाली मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दे रहा
और
हूँ
और
कि
एक एक मिनट में आपकी आधी मिनट लेता हूँ कि आपने यूट्यूब चैनल या फेसबुक में शिवानी दीदी को सुना होगा। शिवानी दीदी काफी फेमस है
हाँ जी,
ब्रह्मा
हाँ जी,
कुमारी में।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
तो वो कितने कितने मतलब वो बोलते हैं तो फूल झरते हैं उसके मुंह से, मतलब इतनी पीस हमें मिलती है। ऐसी
हाँ
बहनें
जी।
भी है वहां।
नहीं, वो ठीक है। देखिए, बात उनकी नहीं है, बात आपकी है।
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
समझिए बात।
हाँ जी
है ना?
हाँ जी
उनको
हाँ
क्या
जी
मिला,
हाँ जी।
कितना मिला है, प्रॉब्लम वो नहीं है। प्रॉब्लम ये है कि भी आप सवाल उठा रहे हैं कि भी मुझे मुझे उससे नहीं मिल रहा है ना?
मतलब
तो
मुझे विश्वास उठ रहा है कि
हाँ, कोई
ये
बात
लोग
नहीं।
मेडिटेट।
इट्स ओके,
हाँ
इट्स ओके। वो
हाँ
वो डाउट बहुत जरूरी है, ताकि और क्लैरिटी मिल सके, है ना?
हाँ 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 हाँ।
होता क्या है, जब हम मेडिटेशन करते हैं तो क्या हमारा जो रियल ध्यान है वो कहाँ है? बैठने को
हम्म
मेडिटेशन नहीं कहते हैं। ठीक है।
हम्म।
हाँ, आप ध्यान कर रहे हो, ध्यान में जो भी मेडिटेशन है उसका एक ही पर्पस होता है कि आपको ध्यान एक जगह एकाग्र करना है। आपका जो मन इधर उधर भाग रहा है उसको एकाग्र करना है। जैसे जैसे वो मन, और एक दिन में होने वाला नहीं, जैसे बताया है। ठीक है, आपने बोला 30-30 साल लगते, सर कई जन्म लग जाते हैं फोकस को एकाग्र करने में। तो आप
आई
उस
थिंक
चीज
यस
से।
अरिजीत
हाँ,
आप जी जो बोल रहे हैं वो उसको माइंडफुलनेस बोलते हैं कि आपको
हाँ,
जरूरी नहीं है कि मेडिटेशन करने के लिए आप बंद करके यू
हाँ,
नो ध्यान रख के बनना है। आपको मेडिटेशन करना है आप चलते वक्त भी कर सकते हैं, बाहर
हाँ,
घूमते वक्त ध्यान एकाग्रित कीजिए। माइंडफुलनेस जिसको बोलते हैं मतलब
हाँ।
आजू बाजू कॉन्शियसली ध्यान दीजिए क्या है क्या नहीं। उससे क्या होगा आपका फोकस बना रहेगा, वो भी
क्या?
आपको बहुत हेल्प करता है। ये मेरा
हाँ,
पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है।
नहीं नहीं, सही है सौरभ जी, आप सही बोल रहे हो। और मेडिटेशन में एक और चीज है। हम क्या करते हैं जब मेडिटेशन बैठते हैं, या हम पास्ट में होते हैं या हम फ्यूचर में होते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली
हमें आना होता है प्रेजेंट में। जो बंदा
प्रेजेंट में।
प्रेजेंट में आ गया, इट्स नॉट इजी। ठीक है,
हम्म
मैं खुद इसके ऊपर काम कर रहा हूँ अभी। इट्स नॉट इजी। भाग जाता है, एक फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकंड नहीं लगाता है, वो एकदम बाहर निकल
एग्जैक्टली
जाता है। तो जब आप वो डिटर्मिनेशन से काम करेंगे मेडिटेशन, आप खुद ही सोचिए। सर, आप खुद ही सोचिए कि आपने मेडिटेशन को, जिस तरीके से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, फोकस को एकाग्र करना, ठीक है, वो आपने कितना किया है? तो आपको आपका रिजल्ट समझ में आ जाएगा। तो ये जब आप अपने ऊपर काम करेंगे तो आपको आइडिया आ जाएगा कि भी उन्होंने अपने ऊपर कितना काम किया है। और मैटर वो नहीं है कि भी उन्होंने वो कितना कर रहे हैं या उनको कितना नहीं हुआ है या कितना हुआ है। बात हमारी है कि मैंने कितना किया है। तो आप किसी कहीं कहीं भी हो, ब्रह्म कुमारी में हो या कहीं और संस्था के साथ जुड़े हुए हो, ठीक है, इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि भी मैं कहाँ तक पहुंचा हूँ। रास्ते सारे एक है। मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा उदाहरण देता हूँ। सपोज पहले पुराने टाइम पे एक एक तरफ गांव रहता था, दूसरी तरफ शहर रहता था, तो बीच में नदी चलती थी। तो यहाँ से वहां जाने के लिए कई प्रकार की नावें होती थी। हम लोग बोट पे बैठ के उस तरफ चले जाते थे। तो नावें बहुत सारी हैं। आपको इस भवसागर से पार होने के लिए नाव, जो बोट्स हैं वो बहुत सारी हैं। एक ही बोट पे चढ़ना है। अब जब चढ़ना है तो ये भी ध्यान रखना है कि भी जो चलाने वाला है वो वाकई कैपेबल है कि नहीं, है ना? और नाव में खड्डा वड्डा तो नहीं है कहीं। तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो हमने ध्यान देनी है। जहां भी आप हैं, आप अपने ऊपर काम करेंगे। जब आप दूसरों के ऊपर ध्यान रखना चालू कर देंगे ना, तो आपका काम नहीं होगा।
बहुत बढ़िया
सर
हरजीत।
मैं सर एक बात करना चाहता हूँ। मैं दूसरों के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं, मतलब मैं एक और बात कहना चाहता हूँ, खोलना चाहता हूँ बात, कि आप मेडिटेशन मेडिटेशन सब लोग करते हैं।
हम्म।
तो मेरी बेटी है, वो म्यूजिक बजाती है तो उसका मेडिटेशन हो जाता है, मतलब वो
हाँ,
काम डाउन हो जाती है उसकी प्रोसेस। तो मेडिटेशन करना जरूरी नहीं है, आपको जो भी शौक है उसमें आप 10 मिनट डूबिए।
हाँ,
मान लीजिए आप पेंटिंग करते हैं तो
सही बात।
आप बोलते थे कि
वही
पांच
वही
मिनट में तो बंद बंदर की जैसे कूदने लगता है मन हमारा मेडिटेशन
मैंने
में।
मैंने अभी शब्द यूज किया था सर कि भी अगर आप प्रेजेंट में आ जाए, प्रेजेंट में आप कुछ भी
हाँ
कर लीजिए। एक काम
हाँ, तो
करते हैं
प्रेजेंट।
रूपारेल जी,
सर, एक काम
हाँ
करते
जी,
हैं,
हाँ
आई
जी,
थिंक टाइम ज्यादा हो रहा है।
हाँ जी,
आपको मेरा नंबर लेना है तो ले लीजिए, हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं इसको।
जी
Yeah,
जी
that would be
जरूर।
really
रूपारेल
wonderful.
जी, रूपारेल जी, एक बिफोर आई क्लोज में एक बात कहना चाहूंगा कि जो मैंने माइंडफुलनेस की बात कही वही बोल रहा हूँ। सिर्फ मेडिटेशन जैसे बैठ के नहीं, जैसे आपने कहा आपकी बेटी म्यूजिक में एकाग्रता कर दी, वैसे आपको कोई हॉबी या कोई भी चीज, आप सिर्फ सुबह वॉक भी लेने जाएंगे तो आजू बाजू का जो एनवायरमेंट आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे। बहुत बार क्या होता है, लोग हेडफोन्स जल के वॉक के लिए जाते हैं लेकिन आजू बाजू क्या होता है वो ध्यान नहीं देते। तो उसके वजह अगर आप आजू बाजू वो ध्यान देंगे तो वो भी एक टाइप का मेडिटेशन एकाग्रता ही है। हर एक आदमी का एक एंकर होता है जिससे वो मेडिटेट करता है। जैसे आपकी बेटी का म्यूजिक है, वैसे हर एक का कुछ ना कुछ होता है। और अगर वो आप ढूंढ पाओ या वो आप समझ पाओ तो आपको इजीली वो मेडिटेटिव स्टेट जो है, जो प्रेजेंट में रहना होता है, वो अचीव हो सकता है। ओके, so
राइट।
thank you everyone. I think I want to hand over it to the next speaker. मैं ज़्यादा time नहीं लूँगा, but thank you first of all. Let me appreciate all those who have come. अपना कीमती वक्त देने के लिए, you have invested, you have come, you have given your time. I really thank you, and I mean, I want to change the lives of men around those who are still in distress, still in anxious, and एक ही बात कहना चाहूंगा टू ऑल द विमेन हियर, टू ऑल द मैन हियर, कोई अगर आपके आसपास दिखता है, ट्राई टू टॉक टू हिम, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड ट्राई टू लिसन टू देम कि उनको कोई स्ट्रेस एंजाइटी है या कुछ भी है। ट्राई टू, आई एम सी, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि सबके पास सब सॉल्यूशन है, बट एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू address their needs, at least try to hear them uncensored, तो एटलीस्ट उनको एक फर्स्ट स्टेप मिलेगा टू अंडरस्टैंड रेगुलेट देयर इमोशंस। ओके,
Wonderful.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much,
Thank you so
Saurabh.
much.
It
Thank
was
you so
amazing
much.
session and bringing light on such a sensitive topic. It makes so much of difference. And I think this is a small initiative. We before, before we started, we were just talking that we need to have certain cafes where we can cry, we can break out, we can express. So, I think, Saurabh, it is such a divine niche you have chosen where you are helping men. And I would also request you to share your LinkedIn ID where the friends who require and want to help others or help themselves can reach out to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
once again, Dr.
Thank you
Saurabh,
once
for
again.
taking your time.
Thank you so much, Somaya,
Yes.
for inviting me. I'll share my LinkedIn profile in the chat box.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
so
Saurabh
much.
and Samaya, for adding that. Definitely, those were brilliant insights and the takeaways for everyone, and for all of you who have participated. It is like, that's our first step towards the that feeling that yes, you have to start opening up, and it's amazing feeling. Now to move forward in this session, we have our another speaker with us, Ms. Sushma Shinde. She is a yoga therapist and a certified corporate trainer. She will be teaching us some simple chair yoga poses that we can practice while at work. So continuing with the discussion on meditation and yoga, I think it's the perfect time for you to begin, Sushma. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shruti, for a wonderful introduction. थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बात करती हूँ रूपरेल सर आपके लिए। सौरभ सर ने एक चीज बहुत सही कहा कि सिर्फ मेडिटेशन से नहीं होने वाला है। सौरभ सर ने और हरजीत सर ने दोनों ने कहा सिर्फ मेडिटेशन से नहीं होता है, थोड़ा सा फिजिकल एक्टिविटी की भी जरूरत है। और वो इसलिए है क्योंकि अगर आप देखोगे कोई भी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करो, योगा करो या आप जिम में जाओ या वॉकिंग जाओ, एक चीज वहां पे भी है जो हम कॉन्स्टेंटली करते हैं, वो है ब्रीदिंग। जिम में भी सिखाया जाता है कि जब आप कोई चीज पुल कर रहे हो, मान लो डंबल्स लेके बाइसेप्स मार रहे हो, ऊपर आते वक्त ब्रीद इन करना है, नीचे जाते वक्त ब्रीद आउट करना है, वो चीज बहुत कॉन्शियसली करते हैं उस वक्त लोग। जब हम वॉकिंग के लिए जा रहे हैं तब भी हम कॉन्शियसली, थोड़ा सा स्पीड बढ़ गया तो हमारा ध्यान हमारे ब्रीदिंग की तरफ जाता है। तो हर चीज ब्रीदिंग में ही है। और ब्रीदिंग क्यों क्यों ये ऋषि मुनियों ने या जिन्होंने भी ये मेडिटेशन प्रोसेस लाया है, उन्होंने क्यों ब्रीदिंग को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दिया है? क्योंकि ये ब्रीदिंग या हमारी सांसें ही है जो जिंदगी भर तक हमारे साथ चलती है। और अगर हम इसे ही रेगुलेट कर पाए, इफ यू स्टार्ट रेगुलेटिंग दिस, इसको ध्यान से, बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देके इसको अगर अलग अलग तरीके से इस पे ध्यान दे, तो ये बहुत ज्यादा बेनिफिट देता है हमको। क्योंकि जब हम ब्रीद इन करते हैं, ऑक्सीजन अंदर जाता है, और जो ऑक्सीजन हमारे बॉडी में जाता है, पहले जाता है लंग्स में, वहां से प्रोसेस होके वो हमारे बॉडी के हर हिस्से को जाता है, जहां से हमें न्यूट्रिशंस भी मिलते हैं, और फिर वो ऑक्सीजन से हमारी बॉडी और ज्यादा एनर्जाइज होती है। तो हर चीज हमारे ब्रीदिंग में ही है। इसलिए कहते हैं मेडिटेशन करो। अगर आपको इनिशियली लगता है कि आप अकेले बैठ के नहीं कर पा रहे हो, आप ध्यान नहीं दे पा रहे हो, यहाँ वहां वॉन्डर हो रहे हो, किसी का हेल्प लो। और किसी का नहीं, फ्री में बहुत अवेलेबल है मोबाइल पे, अपने यूट्यूब पे ले लो, कोई भी गाइडेड मेडिटेशन करके डाल दो यूट्यूब पे, बहुत सारी चीजें मिलेंगी। और हम उसके हेल्प से जो भी हमें पसंद आता है, जिसका गाइडेंस हमें पसंद आएगा, उसको लगाओ, हेडफोन लगाओ और बैठ जाओ और अपने बस सांसों पे ध्यान दो। एंड देन आपको खुद इफेक्ट दिखने लगेगा। क्योंकि ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स सौरभ जी ने खुद के बारे में डिस्कस की, कहीं ना कहीं ये सेम प्रॉब्लम्स मुझे भी थी। मुझे घर पे मेरे कजिन्स, मेरी बहन, सब मुझे हिटलर के नाम से बुलाते हैं, क्योंकि मैं बहुत ज्यादा गुस्से वाली थी। और मुझे भी इस चीज ने, मेडिटेशन ने, योगा ने ही हेल्प किया। एंड ऑल थैंक्स टू माय मॉम, वो भी बैठी है अभी सेशन में, डैड भी बैठे हैं। और मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे जबरदस्ती योगा के लिए भेजा कि नहीं, तू योगा करना चालू कर, तू ट्रेनिंग कोर्स कर, तू टीचर बन योगा की, और फिर तेरे में चेंजेस आएंगे। और वो मेरे में चेंजेस आए हैं। I have changed a lot over a period of 6 years now after starting doing yoga, and I know what I have become from what I was. इसलिए मैं योगा को बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिवली प्रमोट करती हूँ। सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं कि मैं योगा टीचर हूँ, चलो आप भी योगा करो, ऐसा नहीं है। मैंने पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट्स देखे हैं, खुद में बहुत चेंजेस देखे हैं, इसलिए मैं लोगों को ही प्रमोट करती हूँ। सो अभी फिलहाल के सेशन में मैंने एक चीज ऑब्जर्व किया कि people are really finding it very difficult to express themselves and to reduce their anxiety. So I would first start with this session. So उसके लिए हो सके तो सब लोग वीडियो मोड पे आइए एंड सिर्फ मेरे इंस्ट्रक्शन के साथ जाइए। आई होप एवरीवन इज फाइन विथ हिंदी। ओके, थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबली बैठ जाइए जहाँ पे भी आप हो, चेयर पे, या इवन इफ यू आर ऑन द फ्लोर और मे बी ऑन योर बेड। Just go with me. Raise your hands to your shoulder level. हाथ ऐसे ऊपर करिए। अब अपनी आंखें बंद कर दीजिए और मेरे इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो करें। Close your eyes. Okay. Now breathe in to 4 counts. 4 counts कैसे? बहुत स्लोली आपको ब्रीद इन करना है, बहुत स्लोली, और ब्रीद आउट करना है आपके मुंह से। Again breathe in, breathe out slowly. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now slowly bring your hands down and open your eyes. अब इतने देर से जो टेंशन वाली चीजें चल रही थी, थोड़ा कुछ रिलीफ मिला उससे? थोड़ा सा, मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगी कि एकदम टेंशन फ्री हो गए, नहीं, थोड़ा सा, हल्का सा। अब आप सोचिए हमने कितना हार्डली कुछ सेकंड्स ही किया है, इसमें अगर थोड़ा भी आपको अच्छा लग रहा है, आप सोचो अगर दिन में आप सिर्फ 5 से 10 मिनट भी ब्रीदिंग पे को ध्यान दो ना, तो आपके लिए कितना इफेक्टिव रहेगा वो। तो अभी हम लोग कुछ चेयर योगा करते हैं, बट मुझे थोड़ा सा आपके कैमरा को भी आपको एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा। मैं अपना कैमरा एडजस्ट करती हूँ। आप आपकी एकदम कंफर्टेबल पोजीशन पे आ जाओ चेयर पे। ओके, The first yoga that we are going to do, first asana is our neck rotation. हर चीज related to our neck we'll do, okay? तो पहले comfortably बैठ जाइए, hands on your knees, अपने घुटनों पे हाथ रखिए. You can start rotating your head. पहले आपका सिर नीचे आएगा, chin will touch your chest. Start rotating your head from right to left. Slowly करना है, and from left to right. Again from right to left, and from left to right. We'll continue for 3 more counts. To right, right to left, and left to right. Done? Okay, now we'll start tilting our head to right and left. तो उसके लिए पहले क्या करेंगे? We'll take help of a hand. जब आप right side में head tilt कर रहे हैं, आपके right hand से आपके सिर को थोड़ा हल्का सा दबाना है, so that आपको यहाँ पे गर्दन पे stretch feel होगा. बहुत ज्यादा नहीं दबाना है, हल्का सा एकदम. And फिर अभी left के तरफ. Again towards the right. Again towards left. Do this 5 times. Okay, now we'll again bend our head down and up, down, up, down, up. Again, this will do for 5 counts. 4, 5. इसके क्या बेनिफिट्स है? एक तो जो भी आपके नेक रीजन में जब आप बहुत ज्यादा देर तक लैपटॉप पे बैठ के काम कर रहे हो या कोई भी काम कर रहे हो जिसमें नेक पे बहुत ज्यादा आपको लोड आ रहा है, प्रेशर आ रहा है, दर्द हो रहा है, तो आपके नेक के टेंशन को या नेक के पेन को वो रिलीव कर देगा. फिर आपका ब्लड फ्लो इससे बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा. एंड देन आपका जो नेक रीजन में जितने भी मसल्स हैं हम लोग के, ये सब स्ट्रेंथन होते हैं, स्ट्रांग हो जाते हैं अगर इसे रोज करेंगे तो. जब भी आप कोई काम कर रहे हो, एट अ स्ट्रेच, पीपल हैव द हैबिट, एट अ स्ट्रेच दे सिट फॉर 4 hours 5 hours कंटिन्यूअसली लैपटॉप पे काम करते रहेंगे एंड दे डोंट डू एनी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी. फिर बाद में स्पॉन्डिलोसिस चालू होता है, या वो शोल्डर पेन होगा, बैक पेन होगा, कुछ ना कुछ पेन चालू होता है. तो ये होता है इसलिए क्योंकि आप एक ही पोजीशन में बहुत देर तक बैठे हुए हो. तो हर 1 घंटे बाद, हर 1.5 घंटे बाद में उसी पोजीशन में थोड़ा सा चेयर पीछे ले लो और फिर यू स्टार्ट डूइंग ऑल दी स्मॉल स्मॉल एक्टिविटीज, सो दैट आपका ध्यान भी थोड़ा सा वहां से हटे और आप थोड़ा अपने आप को रिलीव करें. कि दिस वाज अबाउट योर नेक. नाउ वील कम टू आवर शोल्डर रोटेशन. आपका हाथ आपके नीज पे रखे और धीरे से शोल्डर आगे से पीछे ऐसे रोटेट करेंगे. 1 2 3 4 5. And again start rotating your shoulders from back to front. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now we'll stretch our biceps. तो पहले हाथ ऐसे लेंगे और दूसरे हाथ से इसे प्रेस करेंगे. यहाँ से यहाँ पे स्ट्रेच फील होगा आपको, यहाँ पे स्ट्रेच फील होगा बाइसेप्स में. Then again alternate hand. Stay there for few counts. Again alternate hands. This will do for 5 counts, 5 times. Okay, if you're done with doing it 5 times, then stop. Then again, laptop लेके ऐसे ऐसे कर रहे हो. This is what pains a lot. Fingers pain करते हैं, wrist भी pain करता है. So start rotating your wrist. Keep your fingers tight and start rotating your wrist. 5 times clockwise, 5 times anti-clockwise. Fingers pain हो रहा है. स्लोली आपके हाथ को ऐसे स्क्वीज करो, फिंगर्स को स्क्वीज करो. फास्ट फास्ट नहीं करना है, कोई इफेक्ट नहीं मिलेगा. जितना स्लोली और जितना टाइटली कर सकते हो उतना टाइटली करना. टाइटली. डू दिस 5 times. And the major problem that people have, people who are working into IT companies जिनका काम बैठ के ही है, and again people who are driving, बाइक हो कार हो, बहुत पूरे दिन से ड्राइव करके काम है उनका, and people who are standing for a long time. इन लोग के प्रॉब्लम, टीचर्स हो, प्रोफेसर्स हो, इवन द ट्रेनर्स जो बहुत ज्यादा देर तक खड़े रह के हम लोग ट्रेनिंग देते हैं. तो मेजर प्रॉब्लम हम लोग का होता है स्पाइन में और पैरों में. So there are many exercises of spine that you can do sitting on the chair that will help you relieve your spine problem, relieve your back pain problem. Okay, first one what we'll do, हम लोग usually ये खड़े रह के करते, but इसका एक variation है जो आप chair से कर सकते हो. Okay? Slowly lift your hands up and start bending from your waist. यहाँ से आपको bend करना है और try to touch the ground. And stay there for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. बेंड होना है, नहीं ऊपर नीचे नहीं करना है. प्रसाद सर आपका थोड़ा मिस्टेक हो रहा है. एक बार ऊपर आ गए ना, इसी तरह से नीचे आ जाओ. हाथ आपका जमीन को टच करेगा और आपको उस पोजीशन में रहना है 5 काउंट्स या 10 काउंट्स तक. और सिर भी नीचे, स्क्रीन को मत देखिए. अब जब आप नीचे हो ना तो नीचे देखना है, स्क्रीन को नहीं देखना. हेड डाउन. ठीक है, अगेन विल डू वन मोर टाइम. हैंड्स अप, स्टार्ट बेंडिंग फ्रॉम योर वेस्ट. हाथ जमीन पे, अगर जमीन पे हाथ टच नहीं कर रहे आपके फुट पे हाथ रख सकते हो. हेड डाउन, हेड डाउन. And you stay for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly come up. Okay, next what we can do is back bend. अब ये हो गया forward bend. हमने अपने स्पाइन को एक्सटेंड किया. अभी हम करेंगे बैकवर्ड बेंड जहां पे हम लोग अपने स्पाइन को कंप्रेस करेंगे. ओके, तो अगेन ये आप 2 तरीके से कर सकते हो. कीप योर हैंड्स ऑन योर वेस्ट and slowly lift your head up and start bending backwards. Side से आप देख सकते हो. If you want, you can see from the side. Hath on your face and bend back. जितना आप बेंड हो सकते हो बेंड होना है. Again, stay for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly come back. Okay. Now we'll bend to our sides. First we'll bend to the right side. इसके लिए हाथ ऊपर लेंगे और धीरे से राइट साइड में बेंड करेंगे. Stay there for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back.
Thank
Start
you.
bending to your left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back. Okay, this we can do 5 times, 10 times. जैसे आपको टाइम है, अगर आपको अच्छे से 15-20 मिनट टाइम मिल रहा है ना, आप ये 2 to 3 बार भी कर सकते हो 10 काउंट्स के लिए। और अभी हम करेंगे ट्विस्ट, ठीक है। तो आपका राइट हैंड आएगा लेफ्ट नी पे, लेफ्ट हैंड जाएगा पीछे और आपको ट्विस्ट करना है। राइट हैंड आएगा लेफ्ट नी पे, ठीक है। लेफ्ट हैंड जाएगा ऐसे पीछे और स्ट्रेट बैठ के आपको सिर्फ ऊपर अपना ये शोल्डर्स को ट्विस्ट करना है, बैक को ट्विस्ट करना है और पीछे की तरफ देखना। अगेन टुवर्ड्स द राइट साइड, राइट लेफ्ट हैंड आएगा राइट नी पे, राइट हैंड जाएगा पीछे एंड अगेन योर ट्विस्टिंग। ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड? कुछ डाउट है किसी को?
No, it's very interesting. It's good. Got
Thank
it.
you.
It really feels good, Sushma, by the way.
Thank you so much.
The stretches are feeling good.
इसके
Because
कुछ
of time
copy-
constraint, I'm not taking it for much counts. But this actually, when I take classes for my students, we stay in the asana for 20 counts, 30 counts. We started with 10 counts. Now they are able to do it for 30 counts. Okay, now we'll do, this is actually a very classic back bend and forward bend that we do in the same pose. That is called cat and cow. So we'll do this cat and cow sitting on the chair. Okay, थोड़ा और इसको पीछे लेते हैं। आपके हाथ अगेन आएंगे आपके नीज पे, और स्लोली आपका चिन ऊपर लेना है और आपका बैक जो है उसे आगे पुश करना। तो जब आप फाइनल पोज में रहोगे ना, वो ऐसे दिखेगी, ऐसे तो पुश करना है आगे और अपना बैक चिन उठाना है ऊपर। एंड जब दिस इज कॉल्ड कैट एंड नाउ वी डू काउ। काउ के लिए सेम पोजीशन से आपको सिर नीचे लाना है और आपके बैक को ऊपर उठाना। इट विल लुक लाइक दिस। दिस विल डू ऑल्टरनेट। ओके, इसमें बहुत देर तक आसन में नहीं रुकेंगे, हम लोग ऑल्टरनेट करेंगे। So again, lift your head up, push your back to your forward, then again bring your head down and push your stomach back. Head up, head down, push your stomach back, head up, push your chest forward, head down, push your stomach back, head up, head down, push your stomach back. Okay, slowly come out of the asana. अब हम there's a आसन called pigeon pose, या संस्कृत में इसको हम लोग कपोतासन कहते हैं. That looks like a pigeon when you are in the final pose. So this we'll do again sitting on the chair. Lift your ankle up, right leg, place it on your left thigh. Okay, and one hand on your knee and one hand on your ankle, and you will just bend forward, head down. जितना आप forward bend कर सकते हो उतना bend करेंगे. You can feel stretch on your hamstrings and your glutes. This is the same effect that you get in the actual Kapotasana when you do on floor. Slowly lift your head up. With the same leg, we'll do one more round. Slowly bend forward, keeping your hands on your knee and ankle. Slowly lift your head up. Okay, now release your right leg. Lift your left leg up. Keep the ankle on your right thigh. Your hands on your leg. And slowly again start bending forward. Come back. We'll go second round. Again, start bending forward. Come back. Okay. Good. These are some asanas, body asanas that you can do anytime. Now we'll do, there are complaints that people come up like, madam back pain वगैरह तो ठीक है, लेकिन बैठ के ना पेट भी बढ़ता है. अभी ऑफिस में हम क्या कर रहे हैं, खाना खाने के बाद में पेट बढ़ता है तो there's one thing that you can do that is called mandukasana, that again on the floor we do, but then we can do this again on the chair as well. कुछ नहीं, पैर तो normally नीचे रखेंगे जमीन पे. Make a fist from your hand, of your palm. Place it under your stomach, in between your stomach and thigh, and slowly bend forward. Heads down. You will stay there for 10 counts, but keep your breathing normal, okay? Don't hold your breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly come up. Okay, shall we do one more round? Okay, again make a fist of your hand. Place it in between your stomach and thigh and start bending forward. Heads down. Stay there for 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly come up. Okay. This is done with from your head to toe we have done. So now again there's one more thing that is left. That this was the bonus from my side. That is, this is one of the technique of Tratak that we practice. It's very easy. Just bring your hands up, make a thumbs up of your hand, okay, and keep it on the level of your eye. Or you can measure it like this. Your tip of the thumb should come in between your eyebrows and bring it forward, okay, and keeping your gaze on your thumb, tip of the thumb, slowly bring your hands near your eyes. Again, take your hand back. Slowly keeping the gaze on your finger. Bring your hand near your eyes. Again, take it back. This we'll do 3 times. Stretch your arms. Take your thumb near your eyes. Back. Take your thumb near your eyes again. Back. Okay, now stop your practice. Whenever you will feel very stressed out, I mean, many a times because of the radiation and everything, we have a tendency to operate mobile also on one side, laptop on one side, TV on one side. Our eyes get strained a lot, but we don't take care of our eyes. But if you keep doing this, every day when your work is done at night, even while before sleeping, just do it for 10 times. and you're done. You will feel very relaxed. Your eyes will feel relaxed. There's one more thing that you can do. Keep your hands like this, make a bowl shape of your hand, and this part of your palm will come on your eyebrow. Okay, and you will cover your eyes like this and try to create darkness here in front of your eyes. You will keep your eyes open, but you will cover it, and don't press your palms on your eyes. Jitendra, I guess you're doing it a bit in the wrong way. Okay. Try to place this part of your palm on your eyebrow like this. Okay, and then cover it with on your eye. Cover it with your palm. Okay. Then you can keep count for 5 counts, 10 counts, keeping your eyes open. Slowly release now. So we are usually exposed a lot to radiation, but then keeping your eyes in darkness for some time will pull out all the radiations from your eyes, and you will feel fresh. This is something that you can gift to your eyes when you do every day. There are people who have got benefit of reducing their specs number also with doing Tratak and these eye exercises. There are few more exercises. For today I can only teach 2. Maybe in the next session I'll come up with something else also. Okay, and lastly we'll do some breathing techniques to relieve your stress. One breathing technique is called Anulom Vilom. It is very famous. I'm sure everyone of you know this. Okay, we'll make a Anguli Mudra. This is called Sahaj Anguli Mudra. Okay, you are bending both your ring finger and forefinger, and 2 fingers will be open, and your thumb will be open. This we'll do from a right hand. Okay, and when you're starting to your Anulom Vilom, another hand you will keep like this. This is called Dhyana Mudra, on your knees. Yes, right, like this. Close your right nostril with your thumb. Breathe in from your left nostril for 4 counts, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're counting 4, you have filled your lungs completely. Okay. Close your left nostril. Stay there for 5 counts. And breathe out through your right nostril for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By the time you're counting 8, you are breathing out all the air from your lungs. Okay. Again, now you have breathe out from your right nose. So you will breathe in from your right nose. 4 counts. Stay there for 5 counts. Don't breathe. And breathe out now. 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll continue for 5 more rounds. So now everyone will keep your eyes closed. Okay, we'll start again. So close your right nostril. Breathe in from your left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close your nose. Stay there for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your left nostril, right nostril. Breathe out for 8 counts. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now breathe in from your right nostril, 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close your nose. Stay there for 5 counts. 3, 4, 5. Breathe out through your left nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in through your nose again. Want to continue this or you want to stop? Hold your breath for 5 counts. 3, 4, 5. Open your right nostril. Breathe out for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this you can practice every day for 5 minutes. Even in between your work, you can do this, and this will relieve your tension for some time, for that very moment at least. The daily, when you do these practices for 50, there are 4-5 type of pranayama that you can do every day, 5 minutes each. You will cover around 20 to 25 minutes of your day doing pranayama. For entire day, you will be energetic. For entire day, you will know how to manage your stress. I won't say you will be stress free, from the day when you start, but you know how to manage your stress. So this was it from my side. If anyone wants to ask anything about yoga, you can ask.
That was really refreshing, I must say, Sushma. I myself am feeling like relieved a lot after the entire day of work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shruti.
It was lovely at the end of the session.
No
If
words to
anyone wants
express, Sushma. In fact, after taking since yesterday I'm not well, after taking cold and fever medicine, I was feeling so much lethargy. These little movements, now I'm feeling really fresh now. I can work for next 2 hours easily, 2 to 3 hours.
Awesome. Anyone else who wants to add anything?
Yeah, it was a
Lovely
really wonderful experience, rejuvenating, I must say. Kind of like when we breathe consciously, that kind of relax not only the mind but the body also. So it's kind of a combination of both mind, body, and soul.
Yeah,
right.
It was really amazing experience. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Let's
Welcome, and
show some
thanks to
love
all
for
of you
Sushma.
to follow my when you were following my instructions and doing it. I was getting more energized. I mean,
it was
not only that
amazing.
when I was doing, but then when I see people do follow, and when they are doing it right, and when they are actually following getting interested in doing that, that energizes me more.
Exactly. No, efforts to sabse tha, Sushma. We all were good students of yours today.
Thank you so much.
Correct.
I'm sure your parents are also doing it simultaneously.
They do it every day. They have their online session with me every day morning.
Wow.
Wow. Huge inspiration. Lovely.
And frankly, thanks to my mom. She literally pushed me. I was the person, who used to feel yoga बुड्ढों के लिए अपने लिए नहीं है, हम तो अभी भी जवान है. But then she was like, मुझे करना है, मुझे theory नहीं करना है, मुझे सिर्फ practical करने, तू जाएगी सीखेगी, मुझे भी सिखाएगी. And then I went.
I'm not sure if Sushma has mentioned this. She does aerial yoga, but it's difficult.
I have seen the pictures.
Yeah, she does aerial yoga.
There are not many practitioners of aerial yoga.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
Actually,
I am not yet certified to teach aerial yoga because I have recently started it 6 months back, and I had plans to go and do a certification this month, but somehow I couldn't. And now it's raining, so I'm sure in Rishikesh the climate will be pathetic. I'll have planned to go in the month of November to get my certification done.
wow. बहुत बड़ी चीज है.
Exactly.
Look forward to your certification.
Lovely.
That's really wonderful. अभी जब बात हो रही थी about aerial yoga, I thought alien yoga. मैंने कहा ये कौन सी नई चीज है?
Aerial.
Like how
Sushma ji.
He teaches yoga to aliens also.
You do it with aliens.
That's alien yoga.
सुषमा जी,
बोलिए ना, रूपल सर बोलिए.
आपने जो शुरू में ब्रीथिंग एक्सरसाइज की वो इतनी रिलैक्सिंग लगी मुझे कि शुरू के 2 मिनट में ही माइंड पूरा रिलैक्स हो गया। ये बहुत ही बढ़िया मतलब फील आया शुरू में, और बाद में
हाँ
सब
सर,
एक्सरसाइज
ये जो है ना, ये हाथ ऐसे रखने का ये टेक्निक इसलिए है क्योंकि हम सब लोगों ने छोटे बच्चों को देखा है, वो कैसे सोते हैं, दोनों हाथ फैला के, दोनों पैर फैला के आराम से सोते हैं ना। ये टेक्निक वहीं से आया हुआ है। आई मीन ये किसी ने सिखाया नहीं था मुझे जब मैं सर्टिफिकेशन कर रही थी, बट देन जब भी देखती थी ना तो लगता था ऐसे क्यों सोते हैं बच्चे लोग। तो मैंने आई हैव पिक्ड इट अप फ्रॉम देयर, कॉपीड फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल किड। और जब हम खुद ऐसे करते हैं ना, हमें बहुत रिलैक्स फील होता है।
मतलब 2 मिनट में तो हमारा माइंड एकदम रिलैक्स फील करता है।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच। Getting this for positive
That
feedback
is,
is a
that is
big
the
thing.
sign of a true teacher, na? It is not, she's not even just teaching what she has learned, but she's creating something on her own, right?
Yes.
वो बड़ी बात है.
So
Sushma,
passionate
thank you
about
so much. You took time for all of us. And yes, this was a lovely combination of mental health as well as physical, because mind, body, souls are integrated, and moreover we as humans are integrated. And this was a small effort by all of us, my entire family, that now you are a part of Unoyan family, and I'm so happy that you all could make it up. And anybody has something new to teach, something to help others, you all are welcome. You can share, like we can help you create a platform, and we can take some wisdom to the world. We can share the wisdom to the world also. Right, over to you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shruti, so much for organizing this.
Thank you so much. I am
Before
just
Shruti
sharing
end, I
the.
want to share one thing. Like
Yes.
हम लोग कुंडलिनी की बात करते हैं या चक्रास की बात करते हैं ना, तो when we meditate तो वो भी activate होता है. And I have like not learned this, but practice करते हुए I have seen that when we do like breathing, long breathing, जो नीचे तक जाता है बिल्कुल आपके मूलाधार
हैंग हो गए।
चक्र तक
Network.
वो मूव करता है, ब्रीथ अंदर ही अंदर. तो वो भी बहुत आसान है, लेकिन थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट भी है. जैसे जब आप ब्रीथ करते हो ना, यू होल्ड इट हियर, देन यू गो फॉर नेक्स्ट वन, यू होल्ड इट हियर, गो फॉर नेक्स्ट वन, देन नेक्स्ट वन. अब यहाँ से ज्यादा आप नहीं ले सकते, तो यहाँ पे होल्ड करके रखना होता है ऐसे.
राइट।
और फिर अंदर ही अंदर आप उसको रोटेट कर सकते हो. जब थोड़ा सा धीरे धीरे जब आप फील करना शुरू करोगे ना, तो जो ऑक्सीजन आपने लिया या ब्रीथ अंदर लिया है, दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टार्ट रोटेटिंग विद इन
या इट रोटेट्स।
तो वो थोड़ा सा जब आप प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तब आता है, बट दैट इज रियली पावरफुल. और वो करने के बाद है ना, मतलब यू काइंड ऑफ फील कि जो आपका बॉडी नीचे से ऊपर तक है ना, एकदम बैलेंस है.
Or this is a type of pranayam that people do to balance their air content. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, वायु कंटेंट बोलते हैं. वायु तत्व जो होता है अपने, उसे बैलेंस करने के लिए. There are 3 type of वायुस actually in our body. So उन्हें बैलेंस करना जरूरी है. अगर उसमें से एक भी इम्बैलेंस रहा ना, we'll have problems. So उसे बैलेंस करना है. और जो सबसे क्रिटिकल वाला होता है, दैट इज अपान वायु, जो हमारे बॉडी के लोअर पार्ट्स में होता है. अगर वो इम्बैलेंस हुआ, प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक कॉन्स्टिपेशन और प्रॉब्लम लाइक फ्रीक्वेंट लूज मोशंस जो होता है, जो लोगों को, जो लूज मोशंस नहीं बोल सकते उसको, बट देन दे कांट होल्ड देयर मोशन. ये प्रॉब्लम्स होता है अपन वायु इम्बैलेंस होने की वजह से. तो आपने जो बोला ना, जो एकदम टिप ऑफ आर मूलधारा चक्र तक जाता है वो एयर, this is actually a technique that people do to maintain your balance your 3 vayus in your body.
Right.
Wow. What an immersive session. I don't realize that it's already 9:10. We have taken 10 minutes extra. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here till the end and learning something and sharing your learnings with us. It was amazing, two-way learning process. And this is what we always want to create, a space where we all can learn from each other. Thank you so much, Sushma, once again, and everybody for joining in, taking out time. and wish
You
you
all, thank you
all
so
the
much.
best in life. And let's
Thank you
keep
so much, and Shruti
connected.
for giving me this platform to discuss
Lovely.
something that I have learned. And I was
Lovely.
very happy. I mean, today's day is something different for me. I had this session. I got one good news, like just when we had a con call just 2 minutes back. I got some good news on phone again. So this day has been really very overwhelming for
Awesome.
me.
Wow. May you keep
Amazing.
getting
We
good
wish you-
news, Sushma,
Yes, keep
and
growing.
everyone. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
being
much.
there. Wish you all the very best in all your endeavors.
Thank you,
Yes.
Thank you
Sumaya.
to
Thank you,
everyone.
Good
Shruti.
night.
Thank you, Sushma. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. All.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And thank you, Sushma's parents also for joining in. Thank you so much, Uncle Auntie.